Historic Site Project, Jamestown, Virginia, by Molly Lyons. The architecture of Jamestown was simple. Early buildings on the fort were made of mud-covered and stud materials with fort posts set in the ground. These were called mud and stud structures. After the year 1610, timber along with stone and brick was used for construction. The only 17th century surviving structure still standing above ground is the brick church tower from early Jamestown. The church tower was composed of brick and mortar combination. The James fort was triangular shaped with a hypotenuse side facing the river and a bulwark at each angle. The palisade structure fence was constructed of logs that were set upright into a narrow slot trench that formed a defensive fortification. The east and west palisade walls were each 100 yards long, while the south palisade was 140 yards, when each was measured to project intersection where the lines met. The settlers chose the site at Jamestown because they believed the location could be easily defended from the Spaniards if they launched an attack by sea. The water along the Chesapeake Bay shores was deep enough for ships to dock, and at that time they believed there would be fresh water supply available to them. Little did the men know the colony would face many problems because the land was swampy, the water undrinkable, and mosquitoes swarmed the area. In December of the year 1606, the Virginia Company of London sent 3 ships from England, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, on a business venture to establish a permanent English settlement in the New World. On May 13, 1607, after traveling nearly 3,000 miles of the North Atlantic by ship from England, the settlers chose a marshy peninsula 50 miles up the James River in a coastal plain region. The men built a settlement surrounded by a palisade-style fence and named their new fort Jamestown in honor of King James I of England. The English settlement at Jamestown served many purposes. It was to serve as a commercial trading post, a military fort, and to be a launching site for a route to the West Indies. Jamestown Island is commemorated for becoming the first permanent English colony in North America. It is the birthplace of Virginia, and in my opinion, United States history. The picture of the obelisk is the slide of the Tricentennial Monument. This monument was placed on Jamestown Island by the United States government in 1907 for the 300th anniversary of the settlement. It cost $50,000, standing 104 feet tall, and is made of New Hampshire granite. I learned that the church tower was built around 1680, and it is the last surviving above-ground structure at the Jamestown settlement. The church tower has withstood many events, from fires and storms to Civil War battles. The settlement at Jamestown is where the first representative government in American colony began. On July 30th, 1619, the first Democratic Assembly in America met. These members were called burgesses, and they met in an assembly called the House of Burgesses. This was the beginning of representative government that is still practiced in our nation's democratic republic.